Elon Musk is history's most wealthy person, with recent assessments putting his fortune at approximately $285 billion. Although there have been rumors that he was born into a wealthy family, Musk has always worked extremely hard for what he has. Some of his early jobs included laboring away in lumber mills and even on his cousin's farm in Canada. Nowadays, he concentrates on his goal of getting humans to space in the hope of eventually populating Mars. He is not afraid to speak his mind, and at times will say and do some outrageous things. Today, we'll be talking about how Musk has decided to sell most of his earthly possessions amid criticism of his extreme amounts of wealth. He will also be going over some of the recent news that has come about the SpaceX program. Stick around to find out why Musk tweeted that SpaceX could be on the brink of bankruptcy. How did Elon Musk make his fortune? Elon Musk was born in South Africa and spent his early years living quite humbly. He moved to Canada in 1989, but only spent a short amount of time there and moved to the US in 1992. His mother was an engineer and businesswoman, and his mother a beautiful model who worked multiple jobs. There were unfounded rumors of Musk being born into wealth, with some claiming that his father owned an emerald mine. His mother did have quite the successful modeling career and has appeared on the cover of many popular magazines. During a particularly unstable time in his life, Musk turned to computers to occupy his mind and bring him comfort. This led to his teaching himself how to code. He allegedly sold the source code to his first computer game when he was 12. Since then, he has built up extremely impressive resume. The sale of his first company, called Zip2 Corporation, is what got him a pass to the Millionaires Club in his 20s. Most people know Musk as the founder of PayPal, which was originally called X.com. Although he has an undergraduate degree in economics and a bachelor's degree in physics from the University of Pennsylvania, he famously dropped out of Stanford after only 2 days to be a part of the internet boom. What's going on with Grimes and Baby X? Elon Musk did not grow up in a very large family, but it seems like he enjoys being a father and to his clan of 6 kids. He likes to provide valuable learning experiences and encourages his children to have adventuresome lives. His youngest child, X-A12, or X, is now a year old. The baby boy made headlines back in May 2020 due to his bizarre name. The state of California would not allow for the use of a number in a name, so they had no choice but to change the 12 to the Roman numeral XII. We're sure they were totally fine with having to use more X's. The name came as a result of Grimes and Elon's quirky shared sense of humor. While seemingly quite different at a glance, they truly have a parallel outlook on the world. Both with hyper-intense work ethics and a desire to live amongst the stars, their dream of getting married on Mars has unfortunately turned to dust. Although Grimes and Elon are no longer officially together, they still co-parent and see each other when possible. They are both workaholics and tend to spend most of their time on opposite ends of the country. We are semi-separated but still love each other, see each other frequently, and are on great terms. It's mostly that my work at SpaceX and Tesla require me to primarily live in Texas or traveling overseas, and her work is primarily in LA, he continued. She's staying with me now and baby X is in the adjacent room. The Red Planet. Space Exploration Technologies, or SpaceX, founded in 2002, was built with the intent of providing commercial space travel. Elon Musk's work on space travel has allowed his company to partner with and work alongside NASA, collaborating on various projects. In 2008, SpaceX had secured a contract that would make them the primary mode of transport for getting goods to the International Space Station. Their first ever unmanned capsule mission lifted off via the Falcon 9 rocket on May 22, 2012. It brought 1,000 pounds of goods and supplies to the astronauts aboard the International Space Station. This would mark the first time ever that a private company was able to have a vehicle dock the ISS. Musk was ecstatic, saying that the feeling was akin to winning the Super Bowl. The next time for SpaceX is completing the Starship launch system, which requires about 1,000 times more energy. The Starship rocket has a whopping 31 engines, and each one is necessary to generate enough lift to get the 100-person spaceship into orbit. Launch is scheduled for 2022, although due to the sheer magnitude of the project, it may be delayed. Stay tuned and we'll tell you why Elon tweeted that SpaceX could go bankrupt and why we think he really had no choice but to sell his properties. Why did Musk sell all of his properties? If there's one thing Elon Musk knows how to do, it is sell. He sold the rights to his first video game when he was 12, sold his first company in his 20s, and made his first billion selling PayPal to eBay. It doesn't come as much of a surprise that he sold his $97 million of Los Angeles real estate. The question is why? Let's explore some of the reasons why he may have chosen to do this. Although he is known for his $285 billion fortune, Elon is not a man who lives his day-to-day life particularly lavishly. He prefers to spend every hour of the day and night working on his projects. Often sleeping at his factories and offices, he has nonetheless come under fire as being a wasteful person. And many believe that he should use his resources to help battle things like poverty and climate change. Some see his Mars missions as a way to give the wealthy an opportunity to leave behind the planet they've essentially destroyed. When asked about his downsizing by Joe Rogan in a 2020 interview, he gave a peculiar answer. He admitted that selling the houses made him sad, and he was doing it simply because he would get attacked of being wealthy and excessive, even though one of the houses was used as a homeschool for his children and another was a historical property previously owned by Gene Wilder. He quickly listed all his California properties for sale within the span of a couple weeks. This frenzied liquidation of properties begs the question, is he just reallocating capital to fund one of his various projects? SpaceX recent news. SpaceX has had an exceptional year. Some additions to its repertoire include 25 unmanned Falcon 9 missions. SpaceX has recently come into the spotlight for breaking world records yet again. In September of this year, the Inspiration 4 mission became the first all-civilian crew to launch into orbit. It was privately chartered by billionaire Jared Isaacman alongside 3 other civilian passengers. This space flight was unique in that even though training for the mission drew upon the NASA-approved curriculum, none of the passengers were professionally trained for space travel. The vast majority of astronauts are usually either government employees or military personnel. Among the crew was Haley Arsenault, a physician who became the youngest American to reach orbit. She also became the first person in history with a prosthetic body part to go to space. The most exciting new development to come out of SpaceX headquarters is that construction for the Starship launch pad is beginning this month, barely ahead of the foreseen 2022 launch date. Some recent drama has come to light regarding the company's precarious financial situation, with Musk citing a possible bankruptcy. How could the richest person in the world even manage to go bankrupt? Is bankruptcy a real possibility? On Black Friday of this year, SpaceX's employees received a very unfortunate email that must have put a damper on their holiday shopping and celebrations. They were being urged to work over the long weekend and forfeit their hard-earned quality time with family. Musk justified his plea by claiming that some of his ex-employees made a slew of grave mistakes that might spell disaster for the entire project. Unfortunately, the Raptor engine production crisis is much worse than it seemed a few weeks ago, he states in the email. As we have dug into issues following exiting prior senior management, they have unfortunately turned out to be far more severe than was reported. There is no way to sugarcoat this. As previously stated, the magnitude of this project is so immense that even for the richest man on Earth, meeting the 2022 deadline is absolutely conducive to keeping SpaceX afloat. The goal is to have a Starship flight running every 2 weeks in 2022, and with construction of the Starship launch pad underway, Musk is remaining hopeful and powering ahead. If you had the chance to go to Mars, would you take it? Traveling to space has been humanity's dream for as long as we've been capable of flight, and the possibilities that space travel implies are astronomical. For now, only the wealthiest people on Earth can take a leisurely trip into orbit. But Elon Musk believes that one day he will make space travel available to everyone. Do you think this is going to happen within our lifetimes? Make sure to like the video, give us a follow, and let us know what you think.